Hello, welcome to CR Wrestling Commentary. Your host Cedric and Cedric. We're today going over Ring of Honor's 19th anniversary pay-per-view special, and this pay-per-view was hit and miss, but luckily they had a main event that saved it. We're gonna get into it. It's just some things Ring of Honor need to not go back into, and they need to work on how to do it better. You know, there's just some things you just don't. Oh, there are people I would never let on my show, but still, we're gonna get into this. Okay. And I took notes here and there, and then some I just couldn't take notes. So we open up Tracy Williams versus Kenny King television title match.
Dragon Lee was the television champion, but he got injured and had to have surgery on his eardrum, and then he couldn't fly, so Kenny King had to defend instead.
And that was my note. that was a note. And what I wrote down, I'm gonna spam these notes, and then I guess if you want to elaborate or something like that.
Okay.
Great wrestling in the beginning. Kenny later on, Kenny does a backflip off the middle rope onto the mat and rope runs just to get caught into a buckle DDT by Tracy Williams. Then Tracy nails a great Death Valley driver, a Spicoli driver.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the title slid into the ring by Amy Rose. This is a little bit later than that. And there was a stalemate where Tracy and Kenny was like, it was a standoff.
Yeah, who's going to go for the belt first?
So Tracy false dashes, causing Kenny to commit to diving to the title, where he was caught in a pile driver. Tracy Williams wins with the pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So Amy Rose already, building heat with
Kenny.
Yeah, was it La or Los? La Facción Ingobernable?
Yeah.
So that was the first match. It was a good match. It was good. Kenny King nailed him with a no, that's later. That's later when I think he hit Rhett with that capo kick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that cartwheel kick. Okay. So no problems there. It was a good match. It was a clean match. Kenny is actually performing much better.
But Kenny is performing better than we've ever seen him perform.
Yes.
And I think that's because of the company that he's keeping.
He needs to stay here.
He can't do that ass dragon shit he's used to doing by himself, because every time Roosh get in the ring, Roosh don't half step.
No, he don't.
And so if you're going to be in his faction, you can't half step, or you're going to get half fucked.
Yep. And then if you want to keep half step, you can get fucked all the way. There's a lot of fucking going on. So we get to the second match. Flip Gordon versus Mark Briscoe, which I wouldn't have had on the show. Not that they can't compete, not that they don't have any skill. It's just I don't see where it was needed.
There was some heat built up because he got hired to cost them, I think, a tag team match. So,
oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, it needed to be on the show. Okay, it's just they don't elaborate into things. And any case, so it was a highly competitive match, back and forth, lots of stuff, but also things where Flip Gordon's style puts him in a position where he needs assistance to look good, which kills the momentum and believability of a match. That's his issue. I'm not a fan of that. Flip Gordon is extremely talented, and he can go if he has to. It
just depends. For him, he's one of those wrestlers where it depends on who he's wrestling.
Yes, and it's not world champion material. Your world champion or champion in general has to be somebody that they can wrestle anyone, any
I don't
style.
see him getting. I can see him winning the TV title. That's it. I don't see him.
Yeah, I can see him holding that on for a couple of defenses.
Like Silas. Silas is not a world champion material.
I can't say that, because Silas can wrestle anyone. That's the thing. Silas can wrestle anyone and at almost any pace. So I hear what you're saying. I lean more towards that he is world title material, but we ain't seen him in the ring in so long. Maybe an injury or something like that. But we're gonna get to Silas.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very competitive, but Gordon wins with the TKO. He won with that. Fireman's carry into a cutter. I mean, everybody got their shit in. It was pretty much a get my shit in match. I just did that. That's all my comments for it.
Yeah.
Highly competitive. Gordon lands a mule kick. Gordon wins with the fireman's carry into the ace crusher. That's my notes. It was a long match, and it had spots, but that kind of killed my enjoyment of the match. So then we get to the third match. Josh Woods versus Silas. Josh Woods with Silas Young versus Dalton Castle.
That was a good match.
They keep neutering Dalton Castle. I miss his intros. I miss his elaborate adornment and all that other stuff. He don't need the boys. But they keep neutering people. And I get maybe they just want to say, hey, look, it's not about the flamboyancy. It's about the match. Maybe that's what they're doing. Or maybe...
I don't know. Maybe Dalton Castle's going through something because one of the commentators said the same thing. He didn't have his feathers. He didn't have his pay-per-view. He didn't have all his stuff. So, I don't know.
And the commentators...
Maybe he was all business.
The commentators... And I can get into... No, we'll get into the commentators on the next match. But the commentators, they're supposed to steer you. They're in the driver's seat. You're in the passenger and you're in the back seat. That's where we are. And they're supposed to steer us to where things are supposed to be. And they do good with that. They do good with certain cover-ups. And I can hear when it's a cover-up. Certain pauses, inflections of the voice, things like that. I usually keep that to myself because then it'll kill the suspension of belief. So I usually just kind of kill that noise in my head so I can just enjoy what I'm watching. But yeah, they mentioned it, and yet I could tell what they're doing is covering up something else. Ring of Honor will neuter someone to keep them from being at the top because Dalton Castle certainly is not there at that top level anymore, and that's not right. Maybe he can't be, so they're not going to do that to him. Who knows?
He could be going through the stage that Lethal went through. Lethal hasn't been in the title contention for a long time. He went through all that bull with Kenny taking all his moves. That didn't amount to anything. Then he went back and forth with Gresham for a while, and they were, enemies, and then they tagged up and they won tag champions. So the champions, you spend a whole lot of time in the limelight, then after a while it's like, hey,
chill.
Yeah. And I think that this is Dalton's chill time.
Might be. Let's just hope that's what it is. Hopefully you call that right. So going into this, as I said, Josh Woods with Silas Young versus Dalton Castle.
That was a good match.
I wrote, it was a long match. It was competitive. I enjoyed both. Really no bad points in this match. Really.
And with it not being pure rules,
they can go.
More than that, because when it's pure rules match, Josh wins. That's what's been going on between him and Dalton Castle. Mm-hmm. When it's pure rules, Josh wins. But when it's not pure rules and you're not limited with the rope breaks and all this stuff, it gives Dalton a little more leeway to be able to do his thing.
And that's pretty much the gimmick of the match. The underlying, the hidden, the subline gimmick of this match. Using wrestling inside terms and stuff. But that's really what it is. It's to show, hey, when it's this, it's that, and then when you take that away, then it's this way, which is what they did. Mm-hmm. So 2 non-pure rules matches and Dalton wins them. Josh can then say, hey, pure rules, I own you. You're a wrestler, but clearly you're not a pure wrestler.
Okay.
I would have went with that. That's just me. In any case. So, my notes. Josh rejects a chair from Young. Young strikes him with the same chair. Dalton rolls him up for the win. Young cuts a promo on Josh, declaring Josh will never defy Silas again. Dalton wins the rubber match and is 2-1 against Woods. That's what I wrote. But that was the end of it, you know?
Yeah.
That's how that worked. But it was funny because he gave him the chair and he was like, you know, drive his head into it. And he was like, nope. And he folded the chair. He was like, nope. And he was like, you're not going to do it? He said, all right, then don't use the chair. Let's see how that work out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. And Silas Young, man, when he's talking, that's a gruff voice.
Really?
And he returns to being a real man.
Yeah, a real heel.
Yeah, basically.
The two guys, one tag is over.
Yes.
That was their tag team name.
That was their name?
Yeah, 2 guys, 1 tag.
No wonder he didn't tag with him. Okay, so we got a 4th match. Grudge match. Jay Briscoe versus EC3. I probably wrote the most notes about this one. This match here, I was expecting more of a fight from Jay Briscoe. Jay hurt his knee at some point.
He did early on. And I think that reduced his ability to put on a Jay Briscoe fight as he normally would. But you know, he brought as much as he could.
I'm going to burn through my notes. This is when we get into the commentators. Let's just talk about them for a moment. A commentator up there that was with them was Rocky Romero. And he sounded like he'd rather be somewhere, as he just said, shaving his balls.
And he looked that way too. Like, why am I here?
And he had to find ways to interject himself into the commentary because it's a Coleman and Riccaboni thing.
They were helping too. They were asking him.
Yeah, they was trying until they get wrapped up into a match, and then they get lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing. They are a team. That's how you know they are a team. They complement each other. And then it got to the point where Romero, and this is not just this match, this is the rest of the matches. It got to the point where Romero and Coleman were complimenting each other, going back and forth, giving their wrestling expertise without exposing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. I like that. I just still don't see the point of Romero being there. I don't know. They brought up his sneaky style. I like that. They did that.
Mm-hmm.
But now when it comes to this match, I wrote this. All commentators speak of Jay as if he's either as if he is either new to wrestling or have not been a capable wrestler.
You thought so?
Yes, they kept talking about EC3 like he was the God's gift to pro wrestling. Like, Jay's got to fight back. I was almost waiting to hear the worst thing that any color commentary person can say about a wrestling match when it's not meant to be a squash match. I was waiting for them to say it's going to be an upset if Jay wins. I was waiting to hear that.
And see, the premise, you know, you said earlier that they're guiding the audience. So from all this build up, and typically the way Jay Briscoe carries himself, is he looking for a fight. And he was sure as shit pissed off with EC3, so he was looking for a fight. And we haven't seen anything out of EC3 really at all until this match where he was wrestling.
Yeah, his mat wrestling, his ground wrestling game is solid. I just didn't see anything else. He's your old school 70s heel wrestler. That's what EC3 is. So you're not going to see anything flashy, but he wrestles almost like a face, and I don't like that. And so when I say face, I don't mean doing the drop kicks, the flashy stuff to get the crowd on you. I mean a face as in the one that has to fight back, who has to make the comeback. I'm not digging this.
But they were trying to play up EC3 because EC3 is supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And so Jay had to play the comeback face, which he was doing, especially after he hurt his knee.
He was doing it, but it seemed like he was beating on him the most. But that was more later in the match.
Yeah.
You know, this was not a bad match, y'all. Don't get me wrong. This was a good match. I could watch it again. And maybe that's it. Mm-hmm. But mainly, I watch it for Jay Briscoe. I watch Jay Briscoe's matches for Jay Briscoe. I love the way he throws himself in that ring, into what he does, into how he portrays himself. He wrestles the way he look.
Yeah.
And that's rare. It's by and large of the number of pro wrestlers that are there, that's a rare thing. To wrestle to the way you look. And he's got a marketable yet simple name. In terms of just, if you know nothing, the Briscoe name has a very deep history. That's, to be able to carry that name and do it justice, you got to respect that. Okay, let me burn through my notes. I didn't write them in order to everything that happened, because I was just going back and forth. So Jay aids EC3 in a nice powerbomb. They shouldn't have replayed that, because he grabbed onto his hands and he lifts. But when he did the powerbomb, Jay threw himself to the mat. I was like, don't replay this, and then they replayed it. EC3 delivers a great avalanche suplex. Yes. Mm-hmm. Avalanche meaning from the top rope, not middle. That's super.
The tippy top.
The tippy top, baby. Jay hurts his knee on the outside. It was some move he went for, I think a jumping knee, but he just landed wrong, or I can't remember. I really don't.
He jumped off the apron with something and hurt his knee.
When he got, at first I was like, he's just gonna bullshit. It's gonna be an angle, just to push the match and make him over babyface. When he got up and rested on that apron and lowered his head not on the apron, but the guardrail, and lowered his head a little bit, I said, that is the posture of somebody that realizes they are fucked. Mm-hmm. I was like, crap. I was gonna kick your ass for hurting yourself. I was, it's. I am a fan of Jay Briscoe, heel or face. I just respect him in that ring. I wouldn't talk to him though. That man looked crazy. He can't wait to bite the head off a chicken, or teach a chicken to bite the head off a chicken. Let's see. Jay uses a Spicoli driver on the apron, and it was really good too. Mm-hmm. And then I had to put down, the camera can't stay off of EC3's crotch.
And we kept getting full crotch action.
What the fuck?
It was bad enough.
EC3 came out as brown as he could be.
And ripped.
He had the body of a legit Greek god.
He was ripped. You could see every cord of muscle everywhere. And he had his little teeny tiny trunks. And it was borderline obscene.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You want to wear trunks that covers up from just maybe a few centimeters of the navel, below the navel and down. Why? Because it is extremely hard to get that lower abdominal area to get ripped. It is hard. And Cedric pointed out, he didn't work out to get that. No, he body built.
Yeah.
To get, there's a difference.
It's
a difference in muscle building and body building. Bodybuilding, you are going for what's it called? The presentation of every single muscle that you have on your body.
You could point out very specific muscles that you just don't normally see.
You should be able to pose and a doctor point out what that muscle is. And that's how he did. You can tell he kind of dehydrated himself a little bit. That's one of the bad habits of bodybuilders. They got to dehydrate themselves.
So you can see
severely.
all the definition and the striations.
Yep.
Yeah, but his trunks were too small, and we kept getting crotch action. It was just enough crotch to cover his balls.
I'm like, stop showing. Every time he fall down, the camera's like, his crotch. It's EC3's crotch. Show his crotch. I'm like, God damn it. Stop showing me this man's crotch. Just Any case, because I'm not gonna get into what I said. People are gonna hate me, so I'm gonna leave that alone. It's bad enough that I reject all the fanboys of modern day garbage wrestling. You know, I don't need to. I don't need certain people coming after me with knives and forks. Okay, so Jay hit 3 great Hangman's Noose net breakers. The third one was some difficulty due to EC3 fighting it. EC3 begins smiling and laughing while eating blows and begging for more. EC3 extends his hand and looks at Jay, who shakes his hand and finishes with the Jay Driller. And after the match, they shook hands. EC3 looked at him. He looked at him. He acknowledged him, and it seemed like they had a positive exchange and moved on. Okay. And that's good.
Yeah.
We'll see what comes of it, if anything. Because without this, I don't know what EC3 going to do. Okay. Spend enough time on that one. So let's get to the 5th of 9 matches. This is when the pay-per-view starts falling apart. Okay, if you watch this and you are an extreme fan of modern wrestling, then you'll love it. But there's a lot wrong. There's a tag match.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay, here's what it is. This is a triple threat match. Flamita versus Rey Horus versus Bandido.
And they make up the Mehi squad.
And my note was, hold on. Let me scroll down. Here are my notes, and then we'll cover it all. My notes. Okay, first one is, these 3 faced Sons of Savagery and Shane Taylor, which is comprised, all of it makes Shane Taylor Productions. Match didn't end in their favor, and they are now mad at each other.
No, Flamita was mad at Bandido specifically.
Oh, okay, he was mad at him. I thought all 3 was mad at each other. Okay, so Flamita was mad at Bandido.
Yeah, so Rey Horus came out and said, all right, then let's just hash this out and get it over with.
Yeah, let me throw myself in it with you. So, and I wrote, makes no sense. Because you lose matches. You can't get mad over losing a match when losing matches is literally part of your fucking job.
Well, man, you know, storyline wise,
it
could be quite possible that Flamita's got something else going on. He got to make up some bullshit to remove himself.
And if so, that's masterful. I just hope that it's worthwhile. Okay? Because I'm like this. What are you going to do in your history? Go undefeated? Really? How you going to go undefeated in this wrestling era? You can't. You can't do the Luthez thing. You know? Not to say that he never lost. It's just when he did lose, it built up the challenger and people are all concerned and worried. And then he wins. That's how he remained champion for damn near a decade. But that was back in the day.
Back in the way day.
There were people that had a woman that had birthed a child. And by the time that child turned 6 or 8, that's when he lost the belt. Because I can't remember if it was 6 years or 8 years. I can't remember.
It was a long time.
Yeah, it was longer than a month.
It was much longer than it probably should have been.
So then I wrote, Flamita is not happy and refuses to shake hands because that's the end of the match. But Bandido wins with the 21 plex. Okay. Because that match, I did not like it. Here's the thing. Okay, Lucha Libre, that style, when done decently, but then again, that it has been about 20 years, you can watch it. You're impressed by it. You flow with it. You jive with it. But the way it is now, it's let's make up some complicated crap where we all have to assist each other and then get the pop from the fans who don't know shit about wrestling anyway. And I'll be honest with you, most of the fans don't know so much about wrestling, they don't even know what to and not to cheer.
And honestly, what I saw them do to me didn't seem any different than the shit we watched on CMLL or AAA. It really didn't. No, on there, okay, no. I'm agree with you and yet disagree. I agree. On
Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre and AAA, you get to see these overdone things, these Acme-made things
that they have to assist each other with. You can't just do it organically. You're going to kill somebody. They have to assist each other.
The way they did it then was one is trying something. The other comes in and block it. So then they trying to do something. Someone comes in and block that. And they add to it by block. I'm trying. I'm blocking. I'm trying. And then you get this massive thing that happens. And it's like, oh my goodness. And that's how the magic works. With this, it wasn't that at all. That was the problem I was having. This is like, hey, come here. It is time for the spot. I hate that. In CMLL, it was a build up to the big move in the corner. This was, hey, I'm going to get you in the electric chair hold. Are you ready? Yes. Hey, has he gotten up yet? Let's turn around and see. He's not up completely. Let's wait on him. Hey, come over here and try to put him in the suplex position. Now in this, we're going to lift you up and then do this, standing superplex, which looked terrible. It looked bad. Okay? I can see back in the day, because I remember Latin Lover doing it. I remember him being a part of it. He was the one that did the suplex. The dude got him in the electric chair to block the tip over in the corner. They run to the corner. They nip up, legs in the air. They're almost straight. The wrestler runs up on them. They fly back. Okay? Mm-hmm. He caught him on the legs. Dude tried to shake him off. Couldn't. Okay? Grabbed him for the electric chair. Swung him around like he was going to do that inverted sit-out power bomb. Dude caught him. Okay? So now they look like they're going to do, I guess, what they would call magic killer or whatever LIJ was doing. Mm-hmm. But instead, the dude headlocked him, and he was like trying to shake, like pull him away, and it won't work. And so dude grabbed him and pulled with all his might, and they lifted him into a suplex. That's how that worked. This was, let's set this up and do this thing for no reason. And dude almost broke his fool ass neck doing it. This right here was stupid. Everything they did was so outright false looking. My spirit for wrestling started dying when I was watching the match. And so most of the match, I didn't even look at. I just listened to the commentators falsely pop for damn near everything and trying to keep it seem like it's competitive when clearly it's not. Clearly, it wasn't competitive. It was just people doing stunts, and then ultimately we'll get to a finish that we like. Plex is always a good thing. And Caprice Coleman, just like when I would say, hey, Tree of Mass, you stay out the corner. He was like, don't get up. Don't get near the ropes, because you get near the ropes. And then dude got him. Mm-hmm. I love that. That was good. Caprice Coleman, Rocky Romero, Ian Riccaboni was trying to save the decency of the match, and they, to someone like me, couldn't do it. This does a disservice to what I have always seen of Lucha Libre. Maybe modern times Lucha Libre is this, but I haven't seen it, and now I don't want to see it so I can preserve my memory of what it used to be. That's about how I am with it.
Honestly, I used to wonder if the people at the crowds actually watched what they were doing in the ring, because they were live no matter what was going on. And that clacking thing, I mean, the whole time, it's like they're out there, they had their drinks. I don't think it really mattered what was going on in the ring.
I don't think they saw what was happening. I don't know.
That's
they responded to the stuff that did happen in the ring. I just don't know if they knew what they was really responding to. It's like, how do you know? Because we're all drunk, motherfucker. This is free beer. I don't know. In any case, hey, look, when it came to watching CMLL, me and CJ enjoyed the crowd a lot. And it was always a jam-packed, sold-out arena. Mm-hmm. I mean, craziness back in them days. I really wanted to go to Mexico just to see it once. I found out you can't drink the water there, and I drink a lot of water, so fuck that. Well, back then I drank a lot of water. Okay. So, as I said, it started dying in the middle. Next, we got the unsanctioned match of Matt Taven versus Vincent. So
it was a kingdom match.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nothing memorable.
You know, when Vincent wrestles, him and his gimmick and his little brood clique, squad, crew, druids, whatever you want to call them.
Whatever the motherfuckers are.
I like them. They work. But this whole unsanctioned fight,
no ref,
just beating each other up and doing dumb shit.
Pre-recorded.
At least it didn't look theatrical like they was on like home camcorders.
Yeah, it didn't look like Sting and Darby Allin's match on AEW's last
where they had the slow motion entrance and
all this other
everything
stuff.
was all steamy and smoky.
And you could tell they used different takes to get certain things done during the match. You know,
so
I can't recall a time where Sting wrestled and his face paint won't fucked up. His face paint was still immaculate at the end of the match. So, you know.
Yeah. So at least it wasn't all like that. But it was just unnecessary.
And I didn't know who was who. I didn't know who was wrestling.
Well, it was Taven and Vincent. That's it.
I know it was them. When I say that, it's just I didn't watch it. I saw points where, you know, they're thrown down the steps, and that was done poorly because you should have thrown face first, you know, and he got a roll out of that. That would have been better instead of that contrived bullshit they did. And then Taven diving off the top of the steps to the bottom. It was like elbow. 4 or 5 steps with it, but still.
No, it wasn't 4 or 5 steps. He dove down like 10 steps.
Oh, it seemed really shallow.
No, it wasn't. That's why I was like, that was stupid, because he landed hard and he could have fucked up his elbow and that hard, unforgiving stone steps.
Considering the fact Eddie Guerrero dislocated his elbow in the middle of a wrestling ring at the softest spot, he's landing on hard wood. You know?
Those were steps. It was like hard stone.
I thought he landed on the landing.
It was a landing, but it wasn't the building looked old as hell. They don't make them all fake ass like they do now.
fake real buildings, right?
They put them up in about a month.
Yeah. If you can make a build, it takes 5 months to make a home where we are, but they can build, you know, a 3-story building in like 3 months, you know, the same amount of time. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
So there's some paper mache somewhere.
Don't jump at the windows.
Don't get the floor wet. You go fall through it.
That's why they put all that carpet down. You get it wet, you just fall through. Okay, so they just beat each other. They talk trash.
They beat each other up. They beat each other down. They beat each other back up.
There's no referee.
They straddle the balcony, fighting in a precarious position, and then some big ass giant of a dude pushes them both off.
That's where my notes come in. Big guy for Vincent shoves both off the balcony onto table.
And see, I thought it was the big dude that comes out with Vincent that you never see. But then the commentators were acting like, who is this man? So maybe it was a different big man. I don't know.
I don't care. I wrote, carries Vincent away after checking on Taven first.
And it wasn't quite, he checked on Taven, but more like he looked at Taven so that Taven could look at him, because Taven gave him that look like, oh no, before he flopped back over.
Yep. And I'm like, yeah. How far we fallen.
Yeah, they followed, a whole story.
Just remember, everyone, he's Matt Taven.
He's Matt Taven. He is you and we are they, and cats are dogs, and he's Matt Taven.
I know what they're trying to do. They don't need to do it. They shouldn't have done this. They really shouldn't. What I would have done I would have done a different type of match. I would have done a half or maybe a third of a steel cage match, meaning in terms of height.
But see, they're not going to do that because Taven's got a restraining order or something against Vincent inside the venue.
God damn it.
Yeah, something crazy.
Let me tell y'all this. I wouldn't have done that. What I would have done is, I'm like, y'all want to do something different? Get off my goddamn fucking microphone all up at my fucking chin and shit. Fucking shirt. Any case, I would have done it this way. The rivalry gets heated, okay? Hey man, we gotta settle this, at some point, man. But it's never gonna be settled, man, because of your ego, man. You dig? All right, man. Shit, motherfucking 60s want their style back. All right, so
they're both dated.
But you know what? I still like Vincent, and I like what he's saying.
I like Vincent.
I like how he talks. I like all the stuff. I like the man and all that. It's just.
I think Taven needs to take Melvin out to pasture. I don't know why he brought it back.
He never let it go.
No, but it used to be an insult like back in the 70s or earlier. And it's like he wants to come back in fashion and nobody's using this fucking word but this fucking dude with his fucking hair.
Can I say how I would have done
this? But his hair sucks. Shave the whole damn head and leave a tuft on top. It's like a broke ass Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown looked better.
I like the beard though.
Yeah, fuck him.
Can I say how I would have done this? Okay, so mine would have been that they're going to finish this. It would be in a ring, and on the inside of the ring would have been the cage. The cage would have come maybe about 7 or 8 feet high, not the 10 or 12 foot high cages. I would have made sure this cage was black. It would have been a black cage. All right. There would have been the weapons hanging off of the cage. There'd been chairs. There would have been a short ladder. There would have been chairs. There would have been trash can lids, pipes, things like that you can work with and hurt somebody with, things that seem like you could find anywhere, and just bring to a fight. All right. Simple enough. You get them in the cage. They got to climb over to get in. All right. And when you want the cage removed, you can unhook it and undo it, all that, yada, yada, okay? However, you're going to fight in that cage. You're going to use, and the object is you got to use all the weapons. This is just Ring of Honor. I'm not going to over gimmick. I'm not going to do anything. No, the object is you have to use every single weapon once. Simple as that. And then after you have successfully landed a blow with each weapon once, then you can go for a pin or submission. I would have, and if you want to over gimmick it just a little, then make it so that you can only go for the pin after hitting them with the weapon. Something like that. Either you hit them with the weapon or you hit the weapon with them. Whichever comes. And you don't have to bleed, but hey, you know what? It'll help things, come out a little better, I guess. I would have stuck with that. All right, have your fun. Cool. And then when the match is over, they take the cage down and all this other stuff. The dude comes in, grabs one of the weapons and whoop the shit out of Taven. Just whoop the shit out of him. Throw him outside the ring, carries Vincent off. But not like a baby like he did. He would have helped him walk out. That's how I would have done that match.
There are people who get the title and then never see it again.
He's one.
He is one. I still don't understand why they gave him to him in the first place. It's like he bitched long enough and they're just like fucking here. That's what it seemed like it happened. He just bitched long enough and just ground him down to a nub, and it was like, well, ain't nobody else. We can give the Jay Lethal, but
he used words of attrition,
and they just gave it to him. That's what it seemed like, because he was not a spectacular champion coming out in his grandmama's clothes. He wasn't memorable. He's not memorable. He almost got go home heat for me. I'm like, it's
just like that, huh?
It's just like that. And then I would be sad that if this shit gets resolved or calms down, or it finally plays out between him and Vincent. Is Vincent not gonna be worth a damn after that? He's just gonna fade into the periphery because he can't be battling Taven.
That's the problem with certain storylines. That's why I do competition and I throw storylines with my shows. I don't do storylines and then hopefully there's some competition in there. Because then if you need a storyline, but then you can't find... Who else is Vincent going to work with? You can't... Who's he going to pair up with that's going to deal with that dumb shit?
I don't know.
See, so it was dumb to do that, and they don't really have a good way out. They just don't. And if they do cold turkey, it's going to expose how fucking stupid it was in the first place. And if they keep carrying it on, people are going to be bored with it. They shouldn't have done this shit in the first place. Not like this. You know? In any case. Can we move on?
Yes.
Okay, so now after that, the announcement. Tournament for the women's division in the summer to crown a new women's champion. Angelina Love comes out, and it's a whole thing. Her the Allure come out, yay! And Maria is the one that's going to be heading this, hosting it, or whatever the fuck. She's in charge of it in general. Yeah. And I like her. She's cool.
Yeah. Quinn was out there.
Yeah, Quinn. And I'm like, she's just adorable. The little bow tie and stuff. She just did that because at first I didn't give a fuck. And now she's all cutified. And I'm like, oh, she's that person who wanted to sit down and watch a movie and make sure she's all cozy and comfortable. And then she goes to sleep watching the movie and just cover up and let her stay in the warm area and she can sleep. And you're like, yay, the day of cuteness is complete. And you move on.
Okay.
That's how I see her. She's just adorable. So Maria and Angelina, they kind of go back and forth. And she's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to make a match. We'll give you what you want. And I was like, man, it's going to be Angelina versus, her tag partner. It's like, nope. It's going to be Quinn McKay. And I'm like, huh?
And Quinn was excited.
She turned around stomping like, man, shit. That's how she turned around. Like, I can't wait to fuck someone up. Like, you know how long I've been wanting to whoop your ass. That's how she turned around. Yeah, and Angelina started laughing. I'm kind of like, I can't blame her laughing because I don't recognize this woman as a wrestler.
You know she's there. You know she's a wrestler.
I mean, just because she's there don't mean she's a wrestler. I'm used to many wrestlers not being wrestlers, like, the Bella Twins and most people in WWE.
WWE don't count. They were in their own universe, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yes. And they literally do that. Y'all want to know, strip you of everything, and you will start over from zero with a new name, like you've never worked anywhere ever until then. And all your momentum is killed that you've been building up for maybe 10 or 20 years, maybe even 5. That's what they do. And then when you can't get over because everyone recognizes you, but you don't act like you have done anything, they don't like you. You lose your fun heat and your fans, and then they say, well, no one likes you, we got to set you out to dry. That's
when you just kill all the humans.
Yep. So
yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that match is made, and Angelina Love was laughing, and then she got her nose, and I thought that was adorable. That was not Angelina trying to be a heel. That was, we're friends in the back and I'm going to mess with your nose. Mm-hmm. And it was fucking adorable. I know that should turn people off, like, man, you kind of exposed the business doing that. I get that. But there's no real build up in the women's division. There is no women's division, and I missed Women of Honor.
They mentioned it very quickly. Riccaboni was talking about it. The Allure got suspended before the pandemic hit for fucking up Quinn.
Ah, okay. Oh, we got that done.
So it's cold revenge going on the table.
Yep. So they got to find that video stuff, repackage it, show what's going on. I hope they do well with the women's tournament. I really hope they find
some decent competitors.
Yes, those that get in the ring and don't care about getting busted in the face. They want to wrestle. I hope they find them,
Let's see what they do.
Yeah. Sometimes you need the new faces, build them up, get them over, do the right thing. Because this pay-per-view showed they are fucked when it comes to the amount of talent that they have on the roster. They are fucked. They had to bring people out 2 and 3 times and shit. And then, look, let me go back. The tag match. Okay.
Which tag match?
Shane Taylor Promotions.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't show it.
Think about the damn triple threat match, and that shit looks so goddamn choreographed. I am questioning if something happened in that tag match that was so outrageously exposing of the business in some contrived way that they just said we can't show this.
Then I would blame the luchas, because honestly, this is Shane.
Yeah, Shane Taylor.
Thank you. I was thinking Shane Douglas.
It's a lot of Shanes.
Promotions. They
are amazing.
They do well. They do good work in the ring. I don't know.
I would blame the luchas.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we have the Pure Wrestling Rules title match. Dak Draper versus Jonathan Gresham, which this is more in our memory, you know.
It was surprising.
Because I was like, how? Because I'm like, okay. You know, I didn't care. I was like, Gresham needs to win pretty much in about 3 or 4 minutes and go home.
I knew it wasn't going to be that simple.
That was before they came out.
And Dak Draper's got that slappable face.
And he is tall compared to Jonathan Gresham.
What, 14 inches?
Yep.
14 inches and 75 pounds heavier.
And it showed. And that was a extremely competitive match. That match showed Gresham doing the long game of those, cutting down the redwood, breaking down the sycamore, you know, cutting up the acacia, just working the tree.
He had to work, and he had to work hard.
And Draper was just jacking him up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was messing up Jonathan Gresham. Gresham had his comeback. Draper had his comeback.
Gresham had his comeback.
They put each other over beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Because this match made me look at Draper in a different light.
Yeah.
In a much different light.
Beyond his slappable face.
And they can't go back.
He's a very good competitor. He's a very good pure wrestler.
Jonathan Gresham looked dead in the water.
But I want to see him against someone his size.
And I want to see him wrestle that competitively.
I want him to see him wrestle that competitively against Josh Woods.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
Josh Woods is the bottom barrel measuring stick. And he is great.
Mm-hmm.
He's
amazing.
He is amazing. If you cannot wrestle almost equal to Josh Woods, don't go to Ring of Honor. That's how I see it.
Don't go to the pure division.
Period. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can do the wrestling, but pure division, leave it alone. If you cannot be almost close to Josh Woods, leave it alone.
And they were done, they were tired, and they were beat up.
Draper and Gresham were, as she said, they were messed up. It was, and I ain't even writing notes down. I was too busy watching the damn match, y'all. Just to be honest with you, I was too busy watching the match. But when it was over, Gresham retains, and, well, they code of honor. Mm-hmm. They shook hands. And here's the thing. I really don't want to spoil anything of that match. I want y'all to watch it out. It was good. I want y'all to watch that match. I want you to watch that match. I literally want you to watch that match. Jonathan, and then come, because that Jonathan Gresham, you were literally. I had to ask Cedra, why is he still kicking out? Why is he still alive?
He's a goddamn champion. Jonathan Gresham can bring out the best just about anybody he's wrestling. Because if you don't come with it, he's gonna humiliate you.
Yeah,
he's going to humiliate you.
They did good with this match, and I applaud them. I seriously do. We're nearing the end, everybody, so give us time, okay? It's late for this. Is 1:46 a.m.
I gotta get up and film.
You just got to be awake by 6:45, 6:50.
Yep.
So yeah. In any case, so that's one reason why I'm kind of speeding through. We've been doing this for 49 minutes, almost 50. Let's keep rolling, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we got the tag team title match. Rhett Titus and Tracy Williams of the Foundation versus Kenny King and La Bestia del Rey of what I don't LFI, but I don't know if it's Los or Los Facción Ingobernables.
It's Los
Ingobernable, I mean. Is it Los Facción?
Yeah, Ingobernable, I think.
Los Facción Ingobernable.
Yeah, but that don't make sense though, because Facción is singular. It's not El Facción de Ingobernable.
Is it?
I don't know, but it's LIF and they're ingovernables. I will have to look it up.
Yeah. See, I can't remember if it's Los or Las.
It's not Las.
It's not.
But I don't know where the
Is it La or Le?
No, Le is French. La is feminine. It's not La.
So shit.
It's
See,
Los.
I was trying. I was grasping for straws, y'all. I done got ruled out. I got nothing now. I'm done. All right, stick a fork in me. All right, the juice come out clear. I'm done. All right, so this match back and forth. It's almost like Kenny King didn't wrestle earlier. Is how it looked. It's almost like Tracy Williams didn't wrestle earlier. About how it looked. It was just weird.
But you have to think about it. It was a 3-hour show. They were chilling for 2 hours. Almost.
Yeah.
And they didn't take heavy damage.
But they wrestled after Jonathan Gresham. And when it came to the main event, when Gresham come out, he looked beat to shit still.
Yeah.
So
okay, wait.
But then again, it wasn't as long as their rest though.
Yeah.
They had a much
and Jonathan Gresham took far more damage than Tracy and Kenny combined.
Gresham took more damage than anybody else on this show.
All in his ribs. He got bear hugged the fuck out of.
So
over and over
don't
again.
Want to spoil it.
Sorry.
They gotta watch that match. They gotta watch this because it's worth it.
Okay.
If that match was the main event, it still would have been great. If that was the last match of the night, it would have been worth it. Mm-hmm. That's how good it was. It is up there equal with Lethal's match. But right now we're going to work on this tag match. So a lot of shit happens during the match. Mm-hmm. A lot of tag, a lot of heel, a lot of face. Both teams look great. They look good.
They did. It looked very good.
So here are my notes so I can blast through this. Okay, so Amy Rose, the manager of LFI, Amy slides a chair into the ring with Bestia, telling her to do it right.
Yeah, because Bestia could have pinned dude, but he got up and went to her. He asked for the chair. He was reaching for it for her to put it in his hand, but instead she just slid it into the ring.
He looked like the fuck?
Yeah.
She ignores the order. Rhett and Tracy win the titles after the hydraulic drop kick was garnered as a flea kick. And then a hardly touching full Nelson. That the match ended shittily.
Yeah,
it was a shitty end to a match. I'm not even gonna front. That was a shitty end.
It should have ended it with the hydraulic drop kick.
The hydraulic drop kick to the back of Bestia reminded me of the black kid that drop kicked Arnold Schwarzenegger. and Schwarzenegger, it's like he turned around like, "What you want, kid?" Oh shit, why y'all tackling him on the ground? What'd he do? That's kind of how he looked. Because he was like, somebody touched me. The dude flew through the air with a double heel drop kick to the back of Schwarzenegger. And he was like somebody just tapped him on the shoulder. Hey man, what you want? He's like, what you want? And he's like, why y'all tackling him?
I still want to know the thought process to that. Hey man, I'm going to run over there and drop kick Arnold Schwarzenegger. What? Yeah, man, just hold my beer. I don't know. What the hell?
I can promise you, in prison, he's probably like, this shit was stupid.
What possessed you? What make you think it's a good idea? It's like
every time I tell this, she just starts laughing.
It's like when Bill Clinton and Peter Griffin high go eat a whole pig.
Hey Peter, you can eat that pig.
Really?
What you say?
Really?
Yeah, that pig could be in our stomach right now. We could eat that pig, Peter.
and they would have went and tried to get it to do that, come out with a shotgun. It just, I don't understand. Every time Cedric bring up that damn kid drop kick, I'm like, what fucking possessed you to do that? What the fuck?
So the hydraulic drop kick, I'm gonna talk past her laughing, y'all. I'm just gonna do it. It is an impressive drop kick, and it brings back the drop kick as a legit finisher as it was initially made. Here's the thing: when he drop kicked him, you could see this. You could see the ripples through the dude's body from the impact.
But he looked behind him like, "What'd you say?"
Yep. So
someone's touching me.
Yeah. So he didn't sell it. He didn't even know what he was selling, and he turns around like, huh? He looked like he was high. Like, I can't acknowledge that you have done anything with your only finisher. And then, which that being his only finisher is actually a good thing, because now you got to look out for it. And seeing that the drop kick is thrown readily these days, yeah, you can get nailed with that at any given moment. So, then he gets him down, puts on the full Nelson, but he can't get him around his arms and around his neck in the seated position. And he ain't tall enough to get him in the standing position. So he just got his hands clutched at his, on the inside of his arms, holding his arms up, and ultimately, that's the end of the match. That's what somebody wanted. They said that's how it is, and he submits. Although he's going to look back and say, that was just shitty.
And so was Red. They both knew it was shitty when it happened. Yeah,
they knew it. You could see it on their face, but it is what it is. Hopefully they're not punished for it. That's why when you call for a finish, make sure that you can actually get the finish on the person sometimes. If you got a complicated leg lock move on somebody that's got these big tree trunk like legs, it's not going to work. Don't fucking do it. Keep trying to do the match. You keep failing, but then you go for something else, and then you get the win. That's what you do. That's Logic 101. All right? Some things just make me mad. But his hydraulic drop kick, hopefully he's not buried because of this. But this is a damn good drop kick. Sometimes you get the snap off it, and he ain't slapping his legs either. So I like that. And if he is slapping something, you can't see it, so that makes it even better. Okay. Then match in. Kenny yells at Amy for losing to Rhett, which, yeah, I get it. Makes sense. Like, you made me lose to Rhett? What the? He's all mad. Amy's all like, you know what? I'm leaving. He's like, I'm sorry.
Give him the finger, try to leave. He stops her and basically serves her up.
Yep. And then aid Bestia in a spirit of Amy, then ending her time in LFI. So that's how that happened. And then Delirious comes out, leans over and says something to Rocky, and Rocky's like, did y'all understand that?
He's like, was that a challenge?
He's like, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. So that's enough of that. Maybe that carried over into the next show, because they got another show up there.
Yep, we'll check that out. Tomorrow, should we talk about the shows that we watch? I guess. I mean,
we can talk about it at the
end. Yeah. I don't know. Y'all think we should watch the shows and talk about them, the individual shows? They're short. I don't know.
So let us. It's usually just 2 matches. They'll be shorter than this.
It's not about the length. I ain't worried about that. It's just importance of the show. Should we? We'll just talk about that later. I guess we'll, obviously off of this. So. Main event, world title match, Jay Lethal versus ROH. It started off ROH saying, I can get down with mat wrestling. I can do that. Saying I can't wrestle. I can do that. But ROH came out in an awesome ass outfit.
It was gorgeous.
Damn, the white suit. He had those. Look, he looked so cool. Had the match representing his brothers, and that's all good. Maybe Mystico or whatever name he's going by will be coming to Ring of Honor. I don't know, but he had a bull on the shoulder, the bull head on the shoulder of his cape, big furry white cape, and I know it's supposed to be menacing looking, but it was
cute.
It was so cute.
He had the red like jewel eyes and his little
big
black
little nose. It was adorable to us. So the whole outfit was cool. It was smooth. It was smooth like Gary Coleman. But it was just the buffalo was adorable. It was just adorable. The match was heavily competitive.
Yeah, it started out with wrestling.
Everyone got their shit in,
and then he just
it devolved.
Roosh on him.
Roosh was like, "I got some shit for you," and Jay was like, "And I got some for you." They both did great. I was lost in the match. The commentators were all lost in the match. Everyone was popping all over the place. Caprice, Ian, Rocky, they were legitimately popping. It wasn't forced. They were involved. Okay, that's what you want. It was great. These two built it up from the ground up. And that is what you need. Both of them showed why they are former and current champions.
Exactly.
They brought the heat to this match. And I love it. However, Toro Blanco Roosh, he won. 2 corner drop kicks. The first one, Jay smoothly rolled out the ring, and Roosh was like, "What the hell?"
Yep, he did. He said his body went limp, and he just died out onto the floor.
Roosh was like, "What the?" He went out after him, and then but before that, the ref, LFI come in, hit Jay with the chair. Ref sees it. He turns to do the disqualification. And then he stops and he's like, I know I should, but I wanted to hug him. I felt so bad for him because he was in a really jacked up position. And after that chair hit, Jay wasn't really the same.
No.
He still got his shit in a little bit, but he was done. He caught the drop kick, and then he died out the ring. Roosh put him back in. And he really geared up, and he caught him with the drop kick. Ian Riccaboni, I'm gonna bring it back. Gotta rewind.
Yeah.
Gotta rewind during the tag.
Early in that match.
Yeah, it was early in that match when Roosh was gonna do the drop kick and then stopped, and he was like, "You got the man down. Why don't you hit him with your finisher?"
He was so frustrated.
He was so mad.
He was so frustrated.
I love that. So then. He does get the win. It was a good win. It made sense. It put Lethal over. It made Lethal look stronger, but it didn't make Roosh look weaker. So that's what you want. Beautiful ending.
Then of course, in Governable, they come out and start stomping on Lethal.
And then Cedric said, "What the hell is the foundation?" And then Coleman, "Where's the foundation?" And so then I said, "Where's the foundation?" Because I didn't want to be left out. So I said it. I didn't want to be alone.
You would have been alone. Riccaboni didn't say it either.
Yeah, but he's Riccaboni. He don't have to say anything. I was lonely.
Oh, okay, baby. I understand.
So I said it.
And then crazy ass. Then the foundation ran out, and they started. Gresham came out too. He was all busted up for his match.
He was jacked up,
but he went out there, and everybody got their ass kicked. And then
Roosh, what the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is this barrel-chested dude? And then all of a sudden he comes out and is Brody Kingu,
who looks bigger with clothes on.
Yep. Brody Kingu. He comes out and he's like, "Y'all got numbers, I got numbers." And then you know who comes out? Tony Deppen.
I was like,
what the fuck is this? Somebody throw that back and make it grow up first.
You're gonna need to get something more than that. He was like, "Okay, they're gonna really be impressed by this." And then
that's when Homicide and Chris Dickinson come out. Chris Dickinson. Okay,
we only seen this dude wrestle once, and he was good.
It was on NWA Primetime. when they do the joint thing, so NWA can have a venue to do their matches. And they came in and they started whooping ass. Homicide lost weight and he got back in shape. I want to know what he did because I like to do it too. Homicide he was bloated. He was almost like a Savio Vega. And now he done dropped all that weight. He's almost back to where he was at WCW time. And he looked good, you know? So you got those three, Tony Depp and Homicide, Chris Dickinson, and Brody Kingu.
So they beat the Ingobernables out the ring.
They whooped that ass.
And they get out the ring, and the only one laying left in there is Jay Lethal.
So King helps Lethal up.
He extends his hand to Lethal, and Jay has to figure out which hand to shake with because he's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like he was legitimately fucked up. And then he gets a lariat by King, who helped him up. And then he's fed to Homicide, who does what he called the cop killer. And at one point, originally he called it the Gringo killer, then the cop killer, and then the 187. I'd rather call it the Vertebreaker because that's the first time I'd ever seen that move.
But that was awesome. The first time we saw that movie, we were like, "Oh shit!"
What he called himself, Sugar Shane Helms at the time.
Yeah,
that was WCW
when he was dancing with the girls.
Yep. I missed that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But Homicide, the first time we saw Homicide doing it, was the AJ Styles. They looked dangerous. I was like, they don't need to let him do that move anymore. And I don't mean dangerous like, oh man, it looks brutal. No, it looked like he was going to break his fucking neck. Like he was going to break the defender's neck. So I was like, he don't need to be doing this move anymore. But the way he fed him, I like the way he went into it. It was awesome. You could tell that is just his move now. And they own the ring at the end.
With Roosh and them looking on like, some shit's going on. Yep. That's what they were looking down the ramp.
Like, they fucking him up. Don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. It's like, we ain't helping you. We helping ourselves. We own this ring from everybody. And that was the end of the show. And I thought it was really, like I said, the show started off well, then it went shitty, and then this match, this main event world title match bought it out, and it delivered. I would have paid the money for this if we didn't have this. I would have paid for the final match only. If that was the only match they ever had, I would have been like $49. If it was that, would have been worth it. Straight up, this match was worth it to me. This one and the Pure Rules wrestling title match. Those two matches. That's worth the price of admission to me. What did you think, Cedra?
Yeah.
Y'all let us know what y'all think.
It was good.
You know, we've been going just over an hour. We did all these. We hope you liked this. You know, I tried to make it short, but there's just no way. No way. So I guess we should just end it right here, right?
Yeah.
So this has been Cedric and Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary on Ring of Honor 19th anniversary. Thank you for your time, patience, energy. Please share this somewhere. Share it somewhere. In any case, good night, everyone.